So today's topic is Flexbox in CSS. Flexbox is used for creating responsive layouts without using media query. It helps us in aligning items in either row or column. So first of all, for that, we will create a file. Let's name it flexbox.html. Created this file, and now in this file, first of all, let's change the title to flexbox.js. Oh, sorry, flexbox. And after that, inside the body tag, first of all, I'll create a container, and inside this container, I'll create some divs or some boxes that I'll align using flexbox. So first of all, let's create a container having a class container. And inside this container class, I am creating some divs whose class name is items. So let's create some more divs. So I have created here 6 divs, and let's name them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the text content inside our div. So now, if we open this with live server, we can see only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on our web page. So let's give some styling to these boxes. For styling, I'm using a style tag, and inside the style tag, first of all, let's give styling to this container box. Let's give height as 100 viewport height, and let's give width as 100 viewport width. We can also give background color of aqua or more lighter shade of aqua. Yes, we can give this color somewhat of sky blue. We can see this, the background color is now sky blue. Right. We can also remove this margin and padding. So for that, we'll use the universal selector and we'll do the margin as 0 and padding as 0. Now we can see that margin and padding is now 0. Right. Now let's give styling to these items. So for that, I am using dot items, and here, first of all, let's give background color blue. Give the background color as blue. It's looking like this. Now let's do one thing. We can give a margin of 10 pixel to these boxes. As soon as I gave margin, we can see the difference in these boxes. Now let's give the height and width to it. Giving height as 100 pixels and width as 200 pixels. Let's give 150. Now we can see these boxes. We can also use border to give the border to these boxes. Let's give the border as 1 pixel, solid, black border. Right. For understanding Flexbox, you must know about the basics of CSS, which is margin, padding, styling, border, how to give background color. These are the prerequisites for this website, for this video. Now we will apply Flexbox in this. We can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 boxes that are arranged in column-wise manner. If we want to arrange this in row-wise manner, first of all, what we will do, see, Flexbox container means the parent container, and the direct child of that container are the flex items. So here we can see that this container is the parent div, and all the items which are the direct children of this container div are the flex items. So we have to first give the display as flexbox or flex to the parent div. We gave the display flexes to parent div. Now we can see that these are arranged in row wise manner, right? Basically, Flexbox have two axes. First is the main axis, that is the horizontal one, and second is the cross axis, which is the vertical one. So when when the flex direction is row, means the items are arranged in rows, then we can say that the main axis is the horizontal one. And if we change the direction to column, so the main axis shifts to vertical. So main axis and cross axis depends on the flex direction of our items, right? So by default the flex direction is row, right? If we again see, now we can't see any changes. But if I change the flex direction to column, now we can see that these boxes are arranged in column-wise manner because the main axis is now changed to vertical, right? We have four directions. First is the row, then column, and then row reverse and column reverse. So row is basically from start from left to right. If I again show you, we can see that row means the one first div, the first item is starting from the left and the last item is at the end. Now if I change the direction to row reverse, I change the direction to row reverse. Now we can see that the direction is now changed. 1 is coming at the right and 6 is coming at the left. So this changes the direction of our items. Similarly, we have a column where the starting of our items start from the top and goes to the bottom. When we change the direction to column reverse, it reverses the manner. Now we can see that the direction is reversed. 1 is at the bottom and 6 is at the top. Right? This is about flex direction. Then we have justify content. First of all, let's write this direction as row is by default. So if we don't add this flex direction row, by default row is considered. Now, what is justify content? Justify content means we are aligning items horizontally. How we want to align all the boxes in a row. If we want, first of all, let's see what's the manner now. We can see that the first box is starting from the left corner, right? Now, if we do the justify content as center, now we can see that the first column having some margin because we used justify content center. That means all the items are now in the center and they are leaving space at left and at right. Right. We have other directions as well. The default one is the start. Default one is the start. So initially it was like that. We studied about start and the center. Then we have flex direction end. Flex direction end means we left the space at the beginning and we start from the end. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then if any space is left, we will leave the space in the beginning. This is end. Then we have justify content space around. Space around means we are leaving some spaces in the left and in the right, and we are leaving equal spaces in between the divs. This is space around. Then we have space evenly. Space evenly means we're leaving the spaces equally in the beginning, in the end, and in between the spaces. If I inspect and show you, see, this purple gap are the gaps, and we can see equal gaps in between the elements, right? One more thing we have is space between. Space between means we are not leaving any spaces in the left and in the right. We are only leaving these spaces in between these items. Got it? This is about justify content. Now, what if we have so many divs with us? I'm copying this thing and pasting again, and let's give the content as 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So we have 12 divs with us. Now we can see that all these divs are arranged in row. Now we want that some divs goes to the next row. So what we can do here, we have flex wrap property. Flex wrap is, let's give it wrap. Wrap means now all the items are wrapped in the next row, which are not coming in the first row. These goes into the next row. By default, the flex wrap is no wrap. No wrap means all the items should be in a single row. But we used flex wrap equals wrap. That means the items that are not coming in the first row are wrapped to the next row. This is the flex wrap property. Then we have align items. We know that justify content will align the items horizontally or along the main axis, and align items aligns the items along the cross axis, means along vertically. If we do align items as center, then we can see that these divs or these items are now aligned in the center vertically. We can see these spaces that are left at the top and at the bottom, right? Then we have same things, align items center. We have align items start, align items end. We have align items stretch also. Stretch means now the divs are stretched. If we don't give height to them, let's comment this height. Now we can see all the items are stretched along the vertical axis or along the cross axis. Because of align items stretch, they are containing the whole height available to them. Okay. By default, align items are at the, we have align items at the end as well. Now we don't have any space at the bottom because these are aligned from the end, and we have spaces on the top, right? And if we minimize the screen, we can see that all the divs are wrapping because we have applied the wrap property. This flexbox property gives us flexibility to use items that can be wrapped using different screen sizes. We don't have to use media queries always for these items. The next thing we have is align content. Align content means it's like justify content where we need to add our what we can say items. Basically, this align content will work only if we have two rows. Minimum two rows should be needed for this align content. If I do align content as center, now we can see that these are aligned at the center, and we can see the gap on the top and at the bottom. What's the difference between align content and align items? Align items are aligning each item at the center, or they are stretching, or they are at the end. But align content is aligning the whole items in a group as a center. By default, align content is at the start. We have other things as well, like flex end that aligns all the divs, all the items to the end. We have flex start as well that aligns all the items to the start. And as soon as we are minimizing the screen size, these are wrapping. We can also see the responsiveness in different devices. For example, we want to see an iPad mini. So our web page will look like this in iPad mini. So this was about Flexbox, where we saw that how we can create flexible layouts using Flexbox, where the most important thing is we have a container, the parent container, and inside this container, the direct child of that container are the flex items on which flex properties are applied. We firstly have to display the flex and then we can apply the flex direction. We have four directions: row, row reverse, column, and column reverse. Then we have the justify content. We have so many properties in this. We have space between, space evenly, space around, center, flex start, flex end. Then we saw about the wrap. If we don't wrap this, we have all the div items in a single row. If we wrap these items, then the items that are not coming in the first row are wrapped to the next row. This flex wrap property helps us to create responsive layouts for different screen sizes. Then we have align items that aligns individual items according to the user's need. Then we have align content that aligns all the divs grouped together in a certain manner. By default, justify content, align items, and align content are flex start. We can change the values as well. And by default, the flex direction is row and flex wrap is no wrap. If we do flex wrap as no wrap, then this will not work as a responsive layout because now we can see that it's not wrapping to the next line or next row, right? So this was about Flexbox that helps us in creating responsive layouts which are in one dimensional. We have two-dimensional layouts as well that are created using grids. So this was about today's video. Thank you so much for watching.